Welcome to Quantum Creativity Show with Cezarina and Santari Green. I am Cezarina here in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I'm so thrilled to be back with my co-host, Santari Green, all the way in UK. Hi, Santari.
Hello there again.
It's been a little while, and it's so good to be back. This is magical. This is 12, 13, 14. So we got this magical day, magical numbers. We got the magical season of Christmas all around us. And we got a very magical friend as well to interview. So welcome, Gina-Dianne Harding, divinator of consciousness, as you call yourself. I'm so glad that you're here.
Oh, I'm thrilled to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Well, Gina-Dianne, you've got several very interesting pieces of work that you'd like to talk with us on the show today. Could you perhaps just describe yourself, just a few background sentences, so about who you are and what you do?
Oh, sure. As Cezarina says, I'm a divinator of consciousness. I'm an author of a book called From Fear to Eternity, 212 Ways to Let Go of Limiting Beliefs and Shift Your Energy into Higher Consciousness Living. And I work with people who have realized that there's more to life than just the mundane, everyday eating, sleeping, going to work, and maybe if they're fortunate, getting lucky once in a while. So I take them from a place where they may just be opening up to this. They may have been on a path for a while and are running into challenges in sustaining higher vibration, higher conscious awareness. And I also love working with people who are at the far end of the spectrum, who want to find out what the moreness is, what's knowing that there's no boundaries and that there are limitless possibilities. So I do that by working one-on-one with people, by doing blogs on my website with tips, and I also occasionally have groups online or in person.
Excellent. So don't tell me, do you do workshops and teleclasses?
I do, yes, and I just love doing that. One of the other things that I really get passionate and excited about doing is in-person, one-on-one. You might call them retreats. I call them advances, because you don't retreat when you come to one of my events.
Very good. So could you perhaps just tell us about one of your programs and what it entails?
Sure. I have a program that is for people who've just woken up and realized, as I said, that there's more to life, and they are longing and yearning to fulfill their dreams, and that's based on my book, From Fear to Eternity. It developed over 15 years ago when I had a severe depression and anxiety. And as a public health nurse, I had a lot of tips and techniques, and also as I was recovering from this, I learned a lot more. And I used an energy framework, or an energetic framework, to develop ways to manage your thoughts and emotions. And so I help people get over fear and overwhelm, and to learn to live a life that they've always dreamed of, where they're full of joy, they have healthier relationships, they do work that they love, and they develop along the beginnings of their spiritual path. So that's my From Fear to Eternity component. And then when I was at a visionary network with Cezarina Green in Sedona a couple of years ago, I had been working on, as I'd been doing my book, I came along in my spiritual growth, on my spiritual path, just in such a deep way. that I had a totally new perception of life. I was looking at things where I realized that there wasn't any boundaries, that we could go beyond anything that we had ever known before. And so when I was in Sedona, I had a bit of a vision where on the little red rock, and it became very clear to me that I could help people go beyond the infinite doorway. And that's where we go out into the cosmos, into the universe, and we explore the moreness and the newness of energy that's coming in from the beyond for this new era that we're involved in. So once a week I take people on a guided visualization on a free energy zing, I call them, in my on my Beyond the Infinite Doorway Facebook page and website. And we spend about 20 minutes going out into the beyond and looking at what the newest energy is, what the people's next steps are. And it's lots of fun and excitement. So I had those two aspects of my work, one for sort of the beginners and advanced beginners, and then I had the more woo-woo for people who were out there and knowing that there was no end to what could be discovered in the universe. And this past year, I spent some time where I was in almost a hiatus. The energy wasn't moving, and I wasn't quite sure what my next steps were. And so I knew there was another Visionary Network event coming up in Niagara, and that in all likelihood, that's when things seemed to pop for me. And sure enough, at this event, my next focus of my work, which is what I'm doing now, and I'm calling it the Divine You, and that's emerged there through another vision that I had. So the Divine You is about the sweetness of life. It's not anything to do with spirituality or religion as such, although those may play a little bit of a part. But it's more about connecting with how precious everything is in life, connecting with the greatness, the all that is, looking at the world with wonder and delight. And it's exploring. I like to say that falling in love with the Divine You is like a mystical conversion where the whole world is reborn inside of you, and you become an alchemically transforming radiance that touches the world around you.
Would you say that's how people would describe it for themselves, and that perhaps they'd have to re-examine how they're looking at life?
Definitely. I think the people that the Divine You appeals to have been on their spiritual path for a while. They're probably quite familiar with metaphysics and energetics and what have you, but they're feeling that they aren't consistently living in that space. And so they need to practice some tools and techniques that help them to always be connected in every present moment to their divine self, to feel the ecstasy and the poignancy of life around them, and to know that life is that they live from a wellspring where everything is in order, and no matter what's going on around them, no matter what chaos is, they have that deep peace within them and that joy and excitement about doing what it is that they love.
How did the word divine come about? I'm guessing that you have a particular feeling and understanding of it for yourself, but would it be different for other people, do you think?
Yes, I think that's partly what's unique about what I offer. It's I talk to people and get to know them. And some people may not even be comfortable with the word divine. Some people that I've worked with aren't comfortable with consciousness. And so we look at what is it that they have in their life that thrills them to the core, that gets them really passionate, and something that they're yearning for. And what is it that brings that that poignancy to their life, that makes them feel that they're able to make a difference in their own lives, to have healthy relationships, to live in abundance. And we focus on it from that perspective. So we look at what do they think is divine, and then build on that to have either a 3-month intensive program or come for a Divine You encounter to Vancouver. And we look at the areas that they want to bring that divinity, or however it is they define it, into their life.
Because it seems when I think of the word, when I use the word divine, it has a particular feel to it. Like there is an energy that I associate with that. And then when I consider what you're saying about the Divine You, that seems to have even a different feel yet again. So I wonder how you actually approach this with people, because I'm thinking that it's probably going to be different for each set of people. Each set of, if you work with groups, each group is going to be different, of course. What is it that really is at the core of this body of work, would you say, that makes it distinct from the other two, Fear to Eternity and Beyond the Infinite Doorway, but also really encompasses something which is richly embodied in each and every person? What would that be?
I think it's getting into the flow of themselves as a connected being, knowing their oneness with all that is, with humanity, with nature, with the cosmos, and being in the flow, having that strong sense of connection. With the Divine You, we look at the vitality. They're bringing boundless energy into their lives. It's not problem and solution based. It's more living from that wellspring of bliss and gratitude in the third dimension. And even though we may go into multidimensional aspects of themselves like we would in Beyond the Infinite Doorway, we focus more on living in this 3D world and being a presence here, and loving and being a master in what it is that they do, no matter what life throws at them. They've moved beyond fear, and they feel confident and abundant, and they're learning how to be a super creator. Perhaps I use a lot of quantum and neuro science and physiology with the Divine You, and moving into manifesting in a different way from the law of attraction, say. I don't know if that really gets at what your question was, Santari.
I was gonna, Diane, I was gonna suggest that you lead us in a couple of minutes of exercise, because I know you've got lots of ideas and things. You could maybe give us the taste that way. It's hard to put into words sometimes what an experience does. So.
Yes, yes, that's very true. Okay, so let's take a deep breath in. And if you want to, you can close your eyes or just start by moving into bliss. And I think most of your listeners, know how to get into bliss. But this time, if you think of it as being completely aligned and attuned to the highest frequency, it's a feeling of expansiveness, of freedom, and you're so happy that you could almost cry. You've got a poignant connection with everything around you, and your body is hyper alive and tingling. You can feel that energy zinging through you, and just feeling like you're full of love or extreme gratitude, extremely ecstatic, and connect with everything around you. And imagine that your vision is seeing the brightest and greatest and newest wild colors. Notice the glory of creation and just feel with passion how amazing and marvelous everything is. And now imagine that you have a slider bar with different frequencies, and push that slider bar up, 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 up to the highest frequency beyond anything that you've ever imagined. Allow your filters to dissolve and see and feel life and vitality moving through you in waves. And feel that and see it and just experience the sweetness of it all. And the waves are becoming particles. You're seeing the quantum field. And feel the energy and the vitality and the trees and the plants and the cosmos. See the sparkling brightness and the clarity more than you've ever seen it before. Connect with the life in everything and feel the energy whispering, caressing you, moving through you. Know that you're becoming more than anything you have ever been. Feel that oneness. I am you. You are me. We are connected with it all. And even moving beyond that oneness, feel yourself as the allness, as the creator of the glorious, magnificent, radiant world and your reality. You're the creator of it. Feel the sheer joy at the magnificence and the exhilaration of creating this feeling. And from here, the magnificent highest frequency, notice that you are experiencing the energy setting down new neural pathways and creating cell memory for you to access instantly anytime that you desire. From this place, find your unique essence, this place of the allness, the greatness. Hone in on your soul signature and observe the divine spark in you. Notice the brightness with which it burns. Feel the passion as it expands out into the world just by being. And feel yourself as the allness, giving a little breath and flaming it into even greater passion and brightness. And notice that that divine spark extends to others. Just being expands it and brightens their sparks and flames it. And your divineness is feeding the divineness of 7 billion humans. That unconditional love for the magnificent radiance of yourself as a divine being. And for everyone, because you are one with all and all with one. Bask in that divinity, that sweetness, that flow, where you can create in every moment the life you long to live. And know that your divinity will always be this wondrous, that you're a phenomenal creator, able to shift your reality with intention, passion, and knowledge of things ancient and the newest energy that's coming in that is beyond what you can ever imagine. Take another deep breath in and relax into that moment, allowing the energy to flow through, feeling your divinity.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. You can feel the energy just moving through of everyone.
I think Cezarina might be doing a yoga pose at the moment.
Am I?
I don't think this is for people who have 3D lives. I think this is for
No.
people who have much more in their life.
Do you? Okay.
Yes, multidimensional for sure.
But part of my experience has been, how do you bring that into the 3D world and live it so that your life is full of passion and purpose and you're doing what you love? And so I want to take that feeling of divinity and that spark and be able to help people to create their lives in whatever dimension they choose to live.
I think you just take the term 3D out of your vocabulary.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Because people, if you say 3D, people go into a particular space. And you don't want people to be in that space, really, when you're doing this. You want them to be fulfilled, ecstatic, feeling vibrant, being able to go with your every word and with every breath that they take, feel that there's this resounding movement that is happening, which perhaps doesn't have a name and doesn't have a label. And so it can be whatever they choose it to be. And we just forget about 3D.
Oh, beautiful. Okay.
That's right. That's right. That's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's so exciting for me to be able to work with people and do this. I just love the 2.5 days when they come to Vancouver and we're in this flow the whole time, and the 3-month practice where once every 2 weeks we do this kind of work, and I share tools and theories of how they can live their lives in the way that they yearn to. And then the other weeks we sort of have a check-in period, so that then that whole 3-month period they really are able to be in the flow and get into the habit of living as their divine selves. And then, we can continue to connect after that, but it's sort of either in a week, weekend intensive or a 2.5-day intensive or a 3-month intensive where they really get into the habit. And the weekend one, we do have follow-ups as well, so that they aren't totally left on their own. They have another 3 calls that we can connect with and just keep up that flow.
Now, you're based on the West Coast, aren't you?
That's correct, yes. Mm-hmm.
So if people can't get you, then they can at least share in teleclasses. Would that be right?
Yes, yeah. And the 3-month program is a one-on-one telephone or Skype, whatever works well for them. Yeah.
So we should perhaps talk about your website then, and what the name of the website is, and where people go to get further information.
Right. So it's www.thedivineyou.academy. It's one of the new suffixes. And it can be either the divine YOU or the divine, just the letter U. I've used both of them and had them directed to that website. I also have a Facebook page, the Divine You Facebook page, and I post a weekly blog with tips for divine living on the web, and then put a link on the Facebook page. And the Facebook page, I put inspirational quotes and things to help people stay in their divine selves.
Right. I'm just looking at the Come Play With Me web page at the moment, where you have your Divine You Mentor Program, which is online, and then your Divine Encounter Face-to-Face. That's a 2-day experience in Vancouver.
Right,
British Columbia.
yes.
Yeah. So there's plenty for people to have a look at and explore what it is that you offer. Your books as well. You have one book, From Fear to Eternity. And,
Yeah.
Would you just like to say something very briefly about that?
Well, it looks at life from an energy framework and from psychological tips on how to manage your thoughts and emotions. And it also provides quickies so that if you're kind of stuck in and slipped back into a lower vibration, you can use a quickie to get yourself back into higher conscious living.
Right. Wonderful.
Beautiful. Magical and wonderful and just delightful to have this offering and have you with us on a Quantum Creativity show right before the holidays, Dianne. This is just, I'm thrilled that you could make this.
Oh, I'm so pleased that you invited me, and it's so great to feel your energy. I've known you both from online and from Facebook, and Santari, we've done a couple of classes together, and it's just neat to be able to feel that energy of you almost live here.
Yes, like you said, we are these unique fields of energy, of quantum energy, and yet when we come together, the magic of that becomes one unit, and then it becomes activated, energized again, and then splits into these sparkles of new creations. And here we are. That's what we do with this show. We sort of come together and then burst out in more fireworks, and then come together again and burst out in more fireworks. I mean, that's my experience.
Don't get her started.
Fireworks factory, right, Santari? Don't get me started. Okay.
Wonderful.
Well, thanks for being with us on the Quantum Creativity Show just before Christmas, and we hope perhaps to see you in the new year, and especially when your new book is coming out. Do you have a due date for it, publication date?
Oh, it's no, I don't actually. I'm hoping maybe in the summer that it'll be coming out. Yeah. It's Oh, it's a different book to write. The other one I sat down and did in actually a week and a half, and then I spent about 18 months editing it. And this process, this process is different. I've had some interesting things going on with my life just when I get into the flow. My father got ill and passed recently, and I thought I was going to have a series that was going to be released starting in January. But that's not going to happen, I don't think. So you never know.
Well, he can tell you what's beyond the infinite doorway.
He definitely, oh man, we've had some exciting, if you want to go to my Beyond the Infinite Doorway.com and read about divine, oh, actually, I think, I'm sorry, it's on the Divine You. There's a blog called Divine Transitions, and it talks about an experience that we had just before he passed where we went into the beyond because he felt he didn't have all of his work done. He wasn't quite ready to go. And so, yeah, it's a blog on the divineyou.academy that talks about the work that we did in the beyond. So, yeah, it was very profound, very moving.
Beautiful.
So I think that's it for us for now. And join us again on the Quantum Creativity Show for another exciting conversation. But for this moment, Gina-Dianne, Cezarina and myself, Santari Green, we wish you a Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas,
Merry
everyone.
Christmas, everyone.
Goodbye for now.
Goodbye.
Bye now.